Testing 1, 2. There we go. Testing 1, 2, 3. And we're back with another episode. I love how it says when you test it out, it's working and it shows that it's working. And then you go to live and it says it's not working. I love technology. It's the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining me right here. Thank you so much again for joining me. It is the Gerald Glassford. Unfortunately, the Lakers not finding much success tonight, but I do want to go ahead and give props to everybody for being here on the day where the Lakers didn't quite get up the hill. It is, his arm was hurt. Yes. Thank you, Arcarino. Yes. It is, of course, Gerald Glassford. Truly appreciate you joining me. Of course, right from here, the Lakers Fast Break, Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture. The Pop Culture Cosmos, each week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. I've got another one coming up for you, Pop Culture Cosmos, that'll be hitting your airwaves in the not too distant future. And probably after this show, I will go ahead and post it up overnight. So it'll be there for your Friday morning drive. Go ahead where you get it, the Pop Culture Cosmos on your Apple, your Spotify, or your YouTube, or go ahead and hit it up if you're a member right here at the Lakers Fast Break as well. But is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Don't forget what I also do, and that is the Lakers' latest show. That's part of the Fan Arc Network. Go ahead and like and subscribe there to get the latest notifications on when I go ahead and give recaps and other small other things that I talk about right there. And I'll be talking about a couple different things right there. The Fan Arc Network. It's a morning show to get you started, 15 to 20 minutes long. Usually I go ahead and cover a myriad of things in the world of the Lakers and the NBA. So go ahead and hit me up there at Lakers Latest, wherever you get your YouTube. Well, the Lakers coming in tonight, riding a 3-game winning streak. With a win tonight, they would have supplanted themselves in 5th place in the Western Conference, supplanting, the Denver Nuggets, who were hosting the Lakers tonight. And right from the start, you could say, if you took the first 3 minutes of the game out of the entire game, and you just based it off of the 45 minutes you saw afterwards, the Lakers win by 4. But Denver got off to an 11-0 start to start the game, and the Lakers, try as they might, whenever they closed it down to 4 or 3, every time they would do such a thing, Denver kept on getting runs that would put in the game. But execution down the stretch, passing twice to Marcus Smart instead of maybe a better shooter who should have been in the game, like Kennard or Rui. Marcus Smart missing 2 straight threes. LeBron making that choice when he had possibly some close shots right there at the rim, and execution down the stretch, defense by the team as well. Nikola Jokic getting an inside layup, and again, poor execution in that final minute of the game. And the Lakers unfortunately lose 120 to 113. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts out there. Gregory, you said it right. I've said it on the show many times. Every time that door of opportunity swings open, the Lakers themselves close it shut and don't find a way to get it done. Anytime there's teams losing, Houston lost tonight, could have actually gained some ground on them. Phoenix lost some tonight. They could have gained even more of a buffer on them, but no, absolutely not. I was talking to Pin, take that for what it's worth. Juan said Reeves was horrible. Gerald, another bad game. Tonight for Reeves, again, for him, I don't want to say it's a bad game, Juan. I mean, it's just an underwhelming game for a guy that wants to get $40 million this summer. 6 of 11 shooting is efficient, 1 of 2 from 3, but it's just underwhelming. It's just that he was there. LeBron offensively good as far as his interior passings, had 3 steals. Austin had 3 steals, but those guys just didn't take it up another notch in their scoring when we needed them to. If they both get to 20, it's a closer game for this. In fact, they win. If they both get to 20 points, we win this game. and DeAndre Ayton. Let me take a moment, guys. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments on this. DeAndre Ayton, 5 minutes in, did not have an impressive start to the game. JJ was absolutely ticked off. As I mentioned, they got off to an 11-0 start. I believe that's when he was pulled. And it was reported then, well, it actually was reported at halftime because he did, as soon as he got out of the game, he left the bench and went back to the locker room area. He reported, or it was reported by the press and the media, that he had knee soreness. Are we sure about that, guys? Again, if it is, then I hope he feels better. But is it truly soreness, or is it the fact that his feelings might have been sore because he was yanked early for his ineffectiveness right there and lack of just effort? Jackson Hayes, again, I will go ahead and say what Joe has said, because Joe has said that this has been his best season overall. And I think it today we shows that he made a really good effort today replacing DeAndre Ayton. For him, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 8 of 10 overall. I still can't. It still bothers me when he gets caught out of position and gets caught out on the key a lot. But I know he was gassed at several points in that second half because, A, that he's playing a lot of minutes for him, and B, it is the thin air in Mile High City. So I get that. I understand that. I wish that we could do something about trying to have a better center lineup around Hayes and support for Hayes, but we've got Clint Capella, aka DeAndre Ayton. Your thoughts, those guys, I want to hear them. Is it time to make a change in the starting lineup? Is it time to go Hayes? We did have Hayes last season, if you remember, as the starting center, and it went okay for the start. It went actually pretty good for the regular season, but you saw that it was a problem in the playoffs. But for the rest of the regular season, are you guys interested at all in a change in the starting lineup at center? I want to hear your thoughts on that. Indeed, Stell said we have Luke Kennard and Rui as a bucket. JJ, you fake coach, go back to podcasting. Again, if that's your deal on JJ, I can't say I'm going to argue with you on that, because JJ is still an inexperienced coach, and we've seen evidence of that throughout the course of the season and last season, where he gets out coached. At this point in time, I don't know what he was thinking as far as running plays that consistently got the ball to the most hot and cold shooter you have from beyond the arc, because there was two, and credit Marcus Smart. He did make 2 threes stepping in earlier in the game, but in that situation, statistically, he is not the best guy shooting out there, especially when you have a guy that's shooting close to 40 and 45 and 50% with Rui and Kennard available on the bench. So yes, that's what I think was the most disappointing from what we saw. But with the Lakers again losing 120 to 113, I'm going to go ahead and get you where they're at. They're at 37 and 25 on the season. Right now, they're sixth place, a game and a half out. See, that cost us a full game. It's not only did the Lakers not take over fifth place in the Western Conference and be right there, right behind Houston, they lost ground to both Houston and Denver tonight, a game and a half out from fourth place, essentially, in the Western Conference. And Phoenix is now back within 2 games of the Lakers as well, despite the fact that they lost tonight. So yeah, just a disappointing time indeed. JY says the new wave of refs don't like Luka. You could tell he has a superstar, ever been an MVP Finals MVP, and the top technical guy. Gee, that is a good question, because you put out as far as even LeBron doesn't get that as many T's. I would probably say, yeah, that's a good combination that you don't want to have. As far as JY, off the top of my head, I like to say no, and that's something obviously he has to curb. He has one left, unless this technical tonight, which was kind of shaky at best, gets rescinded. I think at this point in time, it looks like that we're going to go ahead and see him very careful ground going forward with only one T before he gets a suspension. Chris says Aiton can kick rocks, started strong at the start of the season, now is a disappearing act. No backbone, no thank you. With him, you've gotten the DeAndre Ayton experience. I mean, you saw a tease. He teases you with what he can do as the former number one overall draft pick, and you see why he burned his bridges in Portland and in Phoenix. It's just a tired thing. And even if he picks up the contract, I think the Lakers can still trade him. You're going to say, well, who would want him? Who would want him? At $8 million, it is a tradable contract. You just have to figure out who, along with Ayton, you can trade that is desirable. And that's something that I think we're going to have to work out during the course of the summer. But I think it can be done even if he picks that up. Stell says, why are you blaming the players, guys? Are you all blind? It was JJ Redick that cost us the game period. Again, JJ not having the shooters out there in those spots, at least one of the two. Kennard had been sitting for quite a while. Rui had just been taken out of the game in that final minute. Yeah, absolutely. Tuff said, do you think Aiton will accept a reserve center role? Well, he can stay at home then, and that could become even worse for him. Nick T says, I miss DFS. Have you watched DFS, Nick, actually at all this season for Houston? I don't know. I think have you been aware he's been missing for most of the season with Houston? I don't know. Do you realize he's averaging 3 points a game this season? I don't know. I don't miss DFS that much. I don't think you should either. Yeah. Exactly, YYC. He was gone most of the season, and now he's barely playing for Houston. So, yeah, I don't know, Nick. Between your love for DFS and your love for Kelly Olynyk, I don't know, man. I don't know. Kind of takes away from your arguments about Luka. Although there was a couple in the first half, couple possessions where I had said that you are correct, Nick T. At times he can make better choices with the ball at times, but today you got an efficient Luka again. So tell me what you want. At this point in time, he played with efficiency tonight, 11 to 24, not too bad. 3 of 10 from 3. It could be better. 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 10 defensive rebounds. He was the best defensive rebounder on the team. But yeah, DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith. Yeah, again, right now, it doesn't look good for him right now in Houston. So Luka is a superstar of the Lakers and passed two straight possessions of the ball. No, I didn't say Luka is a superstar of the Lakers. I just said he had for most of the game, he was pretty solid. But yes, and when it came down to the point in the final minute, LeBron made some choices. I think LeBron should have taken the ball to the rim, forced the situation at hand instead of passing it out to Marcus Smart. Because Marcus Smart had hit a couple of threes earlier, but I just think that, again, you got to have the right people in the right spots. And JJ not having at least one of the two top 3-point shooters out there for the team is disappointing indeed. Again, it just is a myriad of things. When you lose, it's a myriad of reasons why, not just on one thing. Coaching, players, situations, choices that they make, choices that the coach makes. It's a myriad of the reasons why the Lakers did not execute in that final minute, because that final minute was the swing between the Lakers winning and the Lakers losing. But I will give the Lakers credit. Again, they could have been just given up the game entirely after that 11-0 run to start the game, but they chose each and every time they got down double digits to fight their way back to at least make it competitive. And they do make it always competitive in the Mile High City, but again, they just could not ever get over the hump, and that was disappointing. Gustavo said, yeah, in that situation, Marcus Smart, again, he's a 33% three-point shooter. You have them out there for defense, but you should have alongside of that a Kennard or a Rui that's above 40% so you can go ahead and get them to look instead. I'm not going to sit here and defend that decision in that respect. But Gustavo says a mediocre team, and they're playing like it. Gustavo, they're playing like it. They are what they are. At the beginning of the season, we have, and I'm still listed. You have to scroll down in the notes section for this channel. You still have to scroll down quite a bit. There are over 12 of us, 12, 13 of our panelists that we talked about the season and we put where we thought the Lakers were going to be. And most of us thought they were going to be in fourth, fifth, or sixth, as this is right where that most of us expected to be. When I talked to, if you looked at back at my team reports I did for interviews with media personnel from all around the world talking about their teams that they cover. I did one for every single team in the NBA. Most of them put the Lakers in third, fourth, fifth, or sixth. And this is right where they're at. This is what we expected from a team that is top heavy, is reliant on three players to get the job done almost every time, and to have not as much depth as you would like to see because of it. Gustavo said, Gerald, the Lakers are not getting anywhere with Redick next year. Again, when it comes to JJ, I've been on the fence for a good part of the season because I was not happy or I was not convinced he wasn't the right choice. But yeah, as I've talked with Joe, because Joe has still he's still there a little bit with JJ, but I'm for me, I'm leaning towards your direction, Gustavo, and I'm leaning towards it heavily. And I would not be sad or I would not be surprised if a change is made. If Rob is out, you might see JJ out too. And I don't care if they've signed extensions or not, but it doesn't matter. With Mark Walter, he is making changes the way he sees fit. He's bringing in a lot of the Dodgers personnel into this mix. I know that Tony Bennett from Virginia, uh, as far as the former coach of Virginia, being put on as a advisory role for the draft, obviously should make some people's eyes like, what's going on there with possible future coach for the Lakers there, if that's the case. Again, this is just up for speculation, but it does make things more interesting when Rob walks back from the office to the car each and every night, and when JJ flies or goes home to the from the office each and every night. Because again, this is designed from what Mark Walter is doing, looking like it's making things more uncomfortable and making things into a much more of a win now situation, or at least have something good in mind. Because right now, the Lakers, again, for every step forward that they take, they seem to take a step back. Isaac says, "Does Jeannie still have a say?" Well, she says she was told that she was asked to stay on as team president, but it's clear, Isaac, when you have all these organizational changes with the former Dodgers execs, former Dodgers VPs, former head of departments of Dodgers moving over into the Lakers, we can see who, from a personnel standpoint, is calling the shots there. From a basketball standpoint, it was still made clear 2 weeks ago to the media that of course, Rob Pelinka is still making the shots and taking the shots out there for now. But again, if this team disappoints and is an easy first round out, you might see something happen sooner rather than later. JY says that's Jeannie gave everyone extension because she knows. Yep. Yeah, remember, JY, this was done before the sale. The extensions were made with Rob and JJ before the sale was made. So, it at least they'll be set up. They've got their golden parachutes for when they're finally moved out. Intel, he said, Welps, it was close, I guess. Again, Intel, they're very competitive in the Mile High City, and they had a chance to win, but it's the execution down the stretch. And the Lakers, as we've talked about before, supposedly one of the best clutch time records in the league. But yeah, it's right now, you see, they cause a lot of the pain themselves. They cause a lot of these close games with just the way how they play. And in these times in that last minute, the execution, coach not taking a timeout, like you're saying, Pinty, take a timeout, bring in Kennard or Rui, could have done it. He had an opportunity to do so, and it just didn't happen. He just felt more comfortable out there with Marcus Smart. I know that Marcus Smart hit a couple shots from three earlier in the game, but I would have had at least one of my good shooters out there. JJ Redick says it's left knee soreness that kept DeAndre Ayton out, and he said that LeBron James was icing his left elbow after the game and that he was experiencing enough discomfort that it caused him to be unable to finish the game. So there's a great possibility we will not have DeAndre Ayton and LeBron James tomorrow against Indiana. Darius Serrano on Twitter said Lakers starting group was minus 13 and 4:30 of the game to start the first quarter. Then the team was plus 6 for the rest of the game. They lose by 7. That's as I mentioned. They were down 11-0 early on, and that's essentially the difference in the game. The free throw line is also the difference, but the Lakers still found a way each and every time they were down by 15, 12, 13. They were still found ways to get close enough to have a chance for victory, and they just didn't get it done. They just didn't get it done. And Sports Baby says Gordon to play, yeah, would have been worse. Well, Aaron Gordon is the glue for them in Denver. Sports Baby, he makes them really, really good as far as the concern. They're not a championship team with him, without him in the lineup. If they don't have Aaron Gordon in the lineup, they are not a championship team. I'll just say that. Stefan Piscano, I had more pure fun watching the Lakers play that first 15 game season than I had more in the decade. I love to see us make smart additions to that team that went 11-4 without LeBron. Well, again, LeBron, you won't have that problem much longer. I think this is getting to the point where you won't have him most likely tomorrow night if he's already icing down his left elbow. And then hopefully we will get a general manager in place that can make the better decisions going forward. But I'm assuming at this point, it's still Rob Pelinka calling the shots going forward, but hoping that will change. And if it does, if there's a quick early exit by the Lakers, there could be some pressure on the front office to make a change, some pressure on Mark Walter to make a change at the coaching and GM positions, despite their extensions. YYC said Luka said should have gotten his tech in tonight and gotten his suspension for the Pacers and be back for the Knicks and Wolves. YYC again, we don't know if that technical is going to be rescinded. It was kind of a weak technical because if you took a look at the replay, it was he just said something offhandedly and immediately got the T. I think that's how what they feel about with Luke at this point. He's cried to the ref and will whine to the refs so much that he is just quickly just going to get the quick T at all time because he's not able to argue to the level of other players because they're just tired of his act. As far as it goes, give me a night off from Rob. Okay, I will give you a night off, Stefan. I will give you a night off. I'll give you a night off from Rob for now. So I'll give you a night off. I can't defend the guy every day. No, you can't. No, you can't. Uh, funny thing is because I was talking to Pinty, who saw the 18-point game that Jay Huff got the other night. And he said, why can't we get this guy on the Lakers? And I had to tell him, um, we did have Jay Huff on the Lakers, kind of let him go. So, yeah. And he was not too thrilled to hear that. But yeah, that's I'll give you some time off from the Rob Pelinka fair assessment on that. But again, with JJ though, JJ making another mistake in a lot of people's opinions, in my opinion as well, as far as not having better shooters or a better shooter in the game in that final minute when you gave Marcus Smart not one but two opportunities to hit clutch shots, and it just didn't get done. Marcus Smart tonight, 3 of 9 for overall, 3 of 6 from three. Again, he's 50% from deep tonight. You do have to put that in perspective, but overall on the season, if you play the odds and you see him and he's 33% shooter on the season, yeah, the odds aren't going to be in your favor. And I get that. And I understand that. And I'm not going to defend that out there. I do know he plays better defense than Kennard, and Kennard was picked on, if you saw, and especially in that second half. that they targeted him on almost every play. Rui's up. Rui could have been out there though, and Rui actually was pulled out. I believe what with about a minute and a half left. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, and could have been where you could have seen him out there instead, but need I digress? Sports maybe says you guys should have gotten Zubats, but you didn't have nothing to give him because Rob. Let Stefan off the hook for tonight. Sports baby, he's stressed out. Let him off the Rob hook for tonight. So yes, we'll have to wait and see. Nick T says Lakers got first 15 easy schedule by the league. I'm not going to go into. You guys go ahead and discuss that if you want to evaluate the teams or how the season was early on in the first 15 games for the Lakers. And if you're insinuating it's fool's gold, again, I'm just telling you right now. I picked this team, I believe, for a fifth place finish. So it's even less than my expectations right now with the Lakers in sixth place, but it's right around where I expected. So I'm not too surprised where they're at. JY says Tim Hardaway has been a Laker killer throughout his career. We talked about that. In fact, Tough mentioned it. Shout out Tough, JY. Yeah, he talked about how Tim Hardaway has been that guy. I know when we talked to Frank, and Frank is on here, and Frank is in the chat, and Frank, if you're a longtime member, Frank comes on periodically. He's a Dallas guy. Even before the Luka trade, he was here with us because he interacted with us. Really good guy, but they were just tired at that point of time of the Tim Hardaway Jr. experience. But you saw what he did in Detroit, and if you have him on the right contract, he can really be a good surprise for you. And he's been good for Denver, but that's on the veterans minimum. If you have him on the veterans minimum or the mini mid level, I think it makes more palpable for the days that he's hot and cold and the days when he's cold. So he is a very streaky shooter himself. He can shoot you in the game and shoot you out of one. And today, with the Lakers, again, like we've seen before, he is very accustomed to shooting very well against the Lakers. Nick T says, notice AR and Luka not get 15 feet. Yeah, I already said that, Nick. We got outshot in the free throws as a unit, as a whole. We got 16 less free throws. 16 less free throws than the Denver Nuggets. There you says it. Suns and Rockets lost. Nuggets 31 though free throws. Yeah, that's what I said right there. But also here today, good man indeed. It is my good friend, Mr. Legend from I Got Next Sports. Legend, great to have you here. I'm hoping all is well with you and the family, my friend. Your thoughts, my friend, on what's going on with the Lakers. You saw them today. Again, a team that puts it and finds himself always, when it comes right down to it, in the clutch for one reason or another, whether it's because like today, they find themselves battling constantly to get up that hill, to get close enough to be competitive, or sometimes they just let teams, they play down to their competition to let them in the game. But today they found themselves down early. They found them down 11-0 to start the game, and they just never finished it off. They never got back up the hill. We see that often with teams where they're just not able to overcome that hill, that whether it's a psychological thing or whatnot. You see teams, they come all the way back, they get to within, they sometimes tie, they sometimes get down by 1 or 2 points, and they just don't get over the hump. That's exactly what happened to the Lakers today. But that last minute, when they had the opportunity to take that game, the decisions in that last minute by both LeBron, Marcus, you could say Luka, AR, and to an extent JJ as well, by not having the right people in the right place on offense, really did them in for tonight.
First I'll say JSJ. I'm gonna keep Steve Kerr. You can keep JJ. I'm good on that. But yeah, I'm good on that. No, we got our own problem, but I'm good on that part. But a lot of questionable things. The LeBron part was definitely kind of odd. I'm not for sure that got something to do with the elbow injury or not. Why he didn't dunk it or lay it up? He just passed
He's
out of it.
he's had it iced down, and I think he didn't even finish the last 10, 20 seconds, whatnot of the game. He got hit. His elbow, LeBron's elbow, was really hurt. But I was questioning why he didn't go for a layup and instead passed out for three, and that may have been the reason why. Legend.
So that might explain why he did what he did. I thought it was a little odd that he passed out of that, knowing that that would have been a better shot attempt than a guy who is just not a known 3-point shooter, and you count on him to win the game for you. Not once, but twice. The Luka fadeaway shot was a little odd. That was a little odd right there. And JJ just making some weird player substitutions. I think there was one time he was bringing in Jake, who has been struggling all night. Not sure why you did that. That was a little odd, but just everybody making questionable decisions. This game was right here for the taking. It was right here like on a silver platter, and it was kind of like, here you go, take it. They were about saying take the game, and they just didn't
Denver
take it.
tried really hard to give this game to the Lakers, and the Lakers just didn't get it done, my friend. You're exactly right.
And it's just a missed opportunity when you had my Warriors beat Houston tonight, and then you had the Suns lost, so that kind of keeps them away from you a little bit. And there was an opportunity to kind of jump over. Not sure what happened with the Timberwolves game. I think Timberwolves probably pulled that off. But with the Houston Rocket loss, that would have been kind of huge if you'd have won this game. You jumped the fifth. Like, that's another game you can have over Denver now. And then you kind of get closer and closer to that fourth spot with Houston losing. But now that you lost, it kind of put you back at square one all over again. And these opportunities, you just can't miss. You just can't miss these opportunities. And it don't get any easier from here. You got to play them again. You got to play the T Wolves coming up. You got the Knicks. You got nothing but good teams coming up. So I mean, this is nothing but an opportunity to kill that narrative of you can't beat good teams.
Once again, the Lakers lose 120 to 113. I'm with Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. It's me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. I truly appreciate it. Stefan said, Gerald, if you had a vote, would Luca be an all NBA first teamer? Well, right now, in most spots, he is listed. In fact, is from DraftKings, he's dropped down to sixth place in the Western in the NBA all MVP voting. So right now, it looks like he might not even get on the first team All NBA at this point. Uh, he is no longer my number three as far as MVP voting at this point because of just the fact that the Lakers are a sixth place team. Although Cade Cunningham hasn't played as well as of late, you might still be just based off the record put him, put Wembyama, put Brown ahead of him, and that would leave him on a second team All NBA as far as it's concerned. Legend. I mean, I do know he leads the league in scoring. He's averaging 32, 9, and 9, which is outstanding. But again, a lot of this narrative that is picked out there is based off of how your team is doing. And if Wembyama's team is doing better and he is still eligible for those postseason awards, Brown is playing well, and they're getting Tatum back here on Friday. And then you have also as well what's going on uh, with with Cade Cunningham, who we've talked about before on our NBA observations. It's getting harder and harder to justify Luca in that top five in the MVP voting.
Yeah, it's getting harder, man. I have noticed that too. A lot of the media is looking more and more about where your team at and what you've been doing lately, right now, and it's getting harder to put them up there. And man, that's huge for Boston. Boston to get Jason Tatum back. I didn't think he would come back this year, but that's huge. That kind of could be a big difference maker on that side of the conference on the low. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to put Luka there right now. I almost think Luka's chance to get MVP is just about gone too, if it ain't already gone at this point. But things can happen these last couple of games. He can go off, make a little run. But man, he gotta chill out with that. Talking to the referees though, you one take away from suspension.
And it wasn't even that much. If you took a look at the play that got him a technical, Legend, he was like about 10 feet away from the ref. Actually, he just made one snide comment and got his tee. That's because I think it's just a buildup of what he has done with the refs over the year, constantly complaining to him. They just have a shorter tolerance for him than other players in the league. Legend. Do you think that's the case in how he got his tee tonight? And do you think it might be rescinded so that he'll still be two technicals away. I mean, it counts still in the game, but as far as how many he builds up, I'm not so sure it's going to stick with the NBA as far as it's concerned.
Yeah, I think it has something to do with his image to the media, his image to the referees. I meant, I really think it kind of like the Draymond Green rule. You may not have done something all the time, but because of your reputation, they're not cutting you any slack. And I think that's kind of what happened with Luca. You got that reputation of always complaining and going up to the refs, getting upset with them. That a lot of the referees they just got a little chip against you. So it ain't gonna take them much to just be like, "Yep, go on and take him." I'm not even think about it. I mean, he has to realize that part. You don't have the world greatest image with these referees. They're gonna already be out to get you as it is. It won't take much for them to want to give you a tech. He just got to realize that part. But I mean, it might get rescinded. It just might. But unfortunately, he ended up getting that tech, and it just ended up could have been one of the many things that could have been avoided. But I don't really think he really did too much either in that situation. It just got a bad image to me, the bad reputation with the referees, and I think that just hurt him in that part.
When it comes to Jason Tatum, who was announced that it's most likely he's going to come back on Friday, JY, and to also as well Tony, great to have you both guys here. I think it comes down to he sees how well they're doing, and he just feels compelled. You sit on that sidelines and you just see how well your team is doing, and you see them at a point where maybe if they just have that one extra thing that can get them over the hump in the Eastern Conference and get them into the NBA Finals where anything can happen. And no, will he be Jason Tatum MVP candidate? No, but if he can be 12 to 15 point a game coming off the bench, because I have a feeling they're going to start, at least have him come off the bench for now, because we've seen Wembyama, Zion Williamson, we've seen star players this season come off the bench for more than one game, for multitude of games, and just coming back from injuries, legend. So I have a feeling that people are under, well, he's not going to be the same. No, I don't think he's going to be the same. I don't think anybody should expect him to be the
Mm-hmm.
same. Yeah, at least right now. But if you got a 10 to 15 point player that you can get coming off your bench to eventually maybe start again alongside Brown as a definitive number two, who, because of his current health, will succeed to Brown because he knows Brown is the man right now. I think that again, Jason Tatum is doing this for the love of the game and for unfortunately for Lakers fans, the love for the Celtics that he has right now and where they're at playing really good ball heading into the postseason, legend.
Yeah, I don't think nobody should expect Jason Tatum to be Jason Tatum before the injury. If he comes back, if he can just give you 70%, that's still pretty good. They're in a good situation, and I respect him a lot for doing that too. Like that let you know how much he really want to get back out there and help his team. But I think coming off the bench will probably just fine for him. Plus, I think he even made the comment that he don't want to ruin the chemistry that has been going on with this team, because I think to me this Boston team has been probably one of the most impressive things I've seen from this season. I had them dead in the water, not completely dead, but like 7 8 seed.
We
And the
weren't even
fact they
sure if
hung
they're going to
around,
be above 500. So
I didn't think that either. And look where they at. And now Jason Tatum gonna come back and maybe not be the one the one you had before, but just decent. That's still good for them. So that's unbelievable. And they're in a good situation. That lets you know that the East may not just be completely I would say Denver, Detroit, or Cleveland, or New York Knicks. You got to have them in the mix. And now they could become a favorite just for having him just back in action.
I do want to mention though as well what was going on right here in the chat. YYC, maybe Dame will come back to it. No, I think that's different because again, with them, Portland is a team headed for the play-in, and I don't. They, there's no real need, even if he is. I mean, we saw him; he can still shoot threes, as we saw him win the 3 point contest. But I don't think there's much of a need for him to, or much of a desire for him to come back. I think I would wait for him to come back at training camp later this year. I think that again, when it comes to what we're seeing with Portland, a less than mediocre team, a team that right what Are they still under 500?
I think
They're
so.
right now, yeah, they're under 500. So 10th place in the Western Conference, and they don't plan to move off of that. They may get above the Clippers, they may not, but they're not getting out of the play-in. So I don't see them bringing back Damian Lillard under any circumstances this season.
I don't either. I just don't think it's worthwhile. Like they're not finna go anywhere. They're not finna probably not even getting to play in. They're not gonna win much. Well, they're gonna probably get to play in, but they ain't gonna win it. Like it's just no point. There's no point in him coming out here risking getting hurt for no reason. Just go and shut it down. Come back in training camp, see what happened over the summer, what the team do, and go from there. Jason Tatum, I can understand him wanting to come back. They playing for something. Like they actually got a chance to get back to the NBA Finals. Portland ain't nowhere near that. They not even
Yeah,
sniffing the AC.
if Charlotte plays the Celtics, as the chat is suggesting, legend, I'm
That
rooting
could be
for
interesting.
Charlotte. That's a good story. Is Comp Knipple now your rookie of the year? I don't want to discuss that here on my next NBA observations. I didn't want to bother you with an NBA observations this week after you told me you were having your family health situation. So but I do think we have to got to have one soon. But right now, I'll just ask it: who is your rookie of the year right now? Cooper Flag is coming back after 8 games or so, but he's playing on a losing situation. I mean, Com Knipple has been the main reason why
Yeah,
that, well, there's other reasons why in Charlotte, but a big reason why
bigger
Charlotte
reason.
is now back to 500 after being dismal the first part of the season. Your thoughts, my friend? Who really is the rookie of the year right now?
I gotta go with Gun Nibble. I had to go with him. He's been balling for Charlotte. Charlotte, I don't think Charlotte has been over 500 in I don't know when. It's been like that long. So I have to go with the kid from Charlotte. He's been just been playing the best. Teams winning over 500. Even though Cooper's been putting up good numbers, playing well too. To me, the biggest difference is one person team is winning, the other one's losing. So I would lean more to his side than Charlotte just because they're winning. And who knows? They might pull an upset in the playoff. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Now. They've been playing that good, beating a lot of good teams. That might be the number one interesting story out of the entire season is how the Charlotte Hornets just flipped the script. Look like a darn good team right now. LaMelo has been playing well. I mean, so it's just hard to believe that I can take Cooper over that kid in Charlotte right now. I think he is winning rookie of the year right now.
I have Com Knipple right now as my front runner. Again, it's about the winning to me as far as is concerned, and Com Knipple and his play has led to his team winning. A Flag right now has led to just some really good stats, but I think he is a winning player. He just needs I guess, a better foundation around him going
Better
forward,
running
and
mates.
yeah, exactly. So, I want to go ahead and ask what was asked earlier for you, your Hawks, your Atlanta Hawks. Who do you want to play least? Pistons or Celtics?
Mm, I'm gonna go with the Celtics because of the experience. Even though I understand Detroit number one team in the East and all that, they're still young and the word is already out in the streets. You stop Cade, you stop the offense. I'm gonna say Boston's the hardest opponent I would rather avoid because like I said, they got the experience, championship pedigree. You have Jalen Brown who ain't afraid of the moment, and now you can have Jason Tatum right back in the mix too. You got a lot of good role players that's gonna step up. I would honestly think the Celtics squad is more of the dangerous squad to play in round one. If it was me, I have a better shot at possibly beating Detroit, just knowing that you stop Cade, you stop the offense pretty much. And they're a young team. They're gonna make mistakes, just like my Hawks. Both two young teams. So there's a very good chance they're gonna make minimal mistakes. While Boston probably not gonna make the minimal mistakes. They got veteran players on their team, and they got championship pedigree stars. So I would want to avoid Boston if it was me.
Once again, it is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media, along with me, Gerald Glassford. Thanks again for watching, listening. The Lakers lose tonight. Tough game, 120 to 113. T3 says if Com Knipple was on Dallas, he would not be winning either. Yeah, a lot of it does have to do with the
Yeah.
teammates that he's on with, but these guys were also most of those guys outside of a Knipple and Diabate were on teams that in the past couple seasons were not doing well. You put a Knipple, a Diabate, who in a more prominent role, Kalkbrenner as a backup, and those guys, along with what they've had as far as Kobe White that they traded for, yeah, they've got some players and some firepowers. They've now really bought into a up tempo offensive style there in Charlotte that really accentuates what they're doing, and it's not just uh, LaMelo Ball taking up the 22 second of the 24 seconds, then chucking up a three anymore offense that they've been running. It is now a much more diversified offense, and Comp Knipple taking over consistently as the leading scorer more often than not from Ball, and a player that is doing surprisingly some all around things, T3, which has been a key to their success. You cannot take away what that kid has provided for Charlotte this season. If Flag was there, you would probably say yes, they would probably have a similar trajectory, but I cannot say enough right now that why that Knipple is, it should be the rookie of the year right now because of the fact that he is helping this team to win. And to me, that means a lot, Legend.
Yeah, that means a lot to me when it comes to winning these type of awards. It's not always about the stat. It's also to me the most important part is how is your output affecting the team overall play. And for that kid in Charlotte, it's been positive. I mean, the team's been winning. They've been looking so much better, so much smoother. It looked like Charlie may have found a possible future star in the making. Hard, who knows? Could be something really special out that kid coming up. And Charlie looked like I said, I think somebody said on TV, maybe been about maybe several seasons since they was over 500, and now they over 500. The team looks that good, and they bringing the best out of LaMelo Ball. He looks so much better than what he has the last couple seasons. So I mean, this kid is going to change life in Charlotte, and I think that's just hard to overlook. Even though I said Cooper Flat putting up good numbers in Dallas, but at the end of the day, the numbers he putting up is not translating to winning right now. Even though one person may have a better situation than the other, but you got to look at the winning part too. It ain't always about stats. You got to look at what is your team doing too, and that kid is just they're playing winning ball. And I think Charlie got to be thrilled. Whoever drafted him, get that man a pay bonus. He did a good job on that scouting.
Yeah, absolutely, indeed. Zach, we were wondering if you were there. We were talking Discord, and we're wondering if you were there. Yeah, yeah. Sorry that the Lakers didn't get it done, but again, they're always competitive in the Mile High City. It's just, again, they don't seem to always execute down the stretch in Denver, and tonight was no exception as the Lakers lose by 7, 120 to 113. Again, Legend, we're still seeing the Lakers in a spot where a lot of people aren't happy with right now, and I know that Silver said the Lakers realistically have no hope this year. At least find out what the young players can do and don't go too hard, just not just to get injured in first round exit, build tradable assets. I don't see many young players that can make an imprint right now. I don't see when I see the Lakers as far as I do want them to play and see what the young guys could do. But when I look at the Lakers, I look at as much as I like the Timmies and the Nick Smith Juniors and the young players, the Kobe Buffkins of the world. I don't see them making an imprint on a rotation anytime soon. But the one player I don't have a clue on because he's been injured for a good part of the season, then JJ has just not played him the rest of the season, is Adu Thiero. When you have a player that you traded up twice in the second round for, is it puzzling why you're not giving him more of a chance and an opportunity? Because again, Rob has probably talked to JJ again and say, hey, I traded up twice to get this guy. He's playing. He's healthy now. He's in the G League, been playing. Is there a possibility you can get him some burn right now on this roster?
Yeah, because you probably wondering like, well, I might want to trade this kid or something in the future, and you ain't playing him. I mean, I can't trade him. Why
He
would
has
somebody
no
want a
value.
person you ain't using? There's no value to. You just just wasting money. He just spending money on a dude who's just collecting a free paycheck at this point. And it's just kind of unfortunate. That's a question you got to ask JJ on that one. I mean, you kind of hurting trade value. Could be a good asset to get. Somebody might be willing to take him if you can just go out here and give me 10 points. That helps a lot. 10 points can make a big difference. And the fact that he's getting 0 DMPs and just sitting on the bench, passing the water bottle down to everybody else, it's just not helping. Just not getting no value. I mean, it's kind of, you about got to question JJ on that part. There's another person I've been wondering too about the kid they got in the buyout. They haven't been using him that much.
Oh, Kobe Buffkin?
Yep.
Oh, well, he was a former draft pick of yours at Atlanta. I would have evaluated him on a second 10-day. They were too quick to run. And now mind you, it's only a contract for the rest of the season with a club option for the next. But I think I would have waited on him to commit to something like that, just another 10-day contract to see if JJ was going to utilize him in a rotation. But again, all it takes is one performance coming off the bench in a limited amount of time where these kids have to perform, or else they know they're not going to be playing any games unless it's garbage time for the rest of the season. Right now, Nick T, if you really want to know, Adu Thiero, I think you're averaging more points than Adu Thiero is right now in the NBA, 1.6. And I'll put it to you this way. Again, I know that it's been called my guy or whatnot. He's not my guy, but he does have some flaws. But Maxime Renal has been averaging a double-double in the past 15 games for Sacramento as their starting center, and he was drafted after Adu Thiero. I just want to leave that with you. He's had games in one game where he scored more points and got more rebounds than Adu Thiero has all season. And that to me is just it's I don't know what to make of Adu Thiero. A kid like that, because he doesn't have an opportunity. Part of it was because of his injury, but now that he's healthy, he's an athletic wing who's a defense first type of guy, which to many people out there, to many fans, to many followers, to many observers, could be something that the Lakers sorely need, is a defender out there that can provide some help for the Lakers on that end of the floor.
He could definitely develop into that. He could develop into that 3D wing that you really need, but he got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing. He's been having a lot of injuries this year and just haven't been able to get a lot of play time. But if he can just get healthy and just have a chance to get some run time in, he could really end up being what the Lakers needed. And it'd be so good if he turned into that, because you already got him and you're getting him for a cheaper price. So that to me kind of pays off in the long run. But I kind of understand more and more why Mark Walter went in and got someone else to handle draft decisions going forward, just because of look at all the misses that you had throughout the draft, and I guess Matt Chris is still looking better and better every day.
That's his best. That's Rob's best draft pick of the entire decade is Max Christie, and again, he's playing for another team. But again, we got Luka for it, so it's a tit for tat. But as far as being able to all those other opportunities, you had to get a better player. Now there is a player right around where they're drafting right now that could be available that is from Michigan, and I know Rob likes his Michigan guys, kind of like Mara, the 7'3" guy from Michigan. Kind of say I like him. I mean, he is 7'3", 250, guys. I'm just leaving it out there. There are other guys out there I'm still looking at, still evaluating, whatnot. But I just said he could be in that area where the Lakers are picking. Just saying. And I understand he's Michigan, and I'm not saying because of that. I'm saying because of 7'3", 255, and the fact that he's a good rebounder and passer from his position. But be that as it may, legend, we'll get into the draft here as it gets closer to the end of the season and into the end of the season. But I did want to stress one last thing. The DeAndre Ayton experience continues.
Yeah.
He was in there. Well, we both called it beginning of the season. It's that's what I termed it, the DeAndre Ayton experience. I mean, people were just really super high, and I was like, I don't know. A Magic Man was like, he was really on it too. Because of the fact that there's reasons why he burned his bridges in Phoenix and Portland. And now you're seeing why he burned those bridges in Phoenix and Portland. Now, mind you, it's not costing the Lakers as much, and people are just assuming he's not at this point because he's so mad, the Clint Capella stuff and all that. He's going to just opt out of his contract.
Yeah, he
It's
gonna
not a
sign
done
that.
deal. Not a done deal that he's going to opt out his contract because he might not have the opportunities to do so. But be that as it may, legend, tonight, 5 minutes, he leaves, immediately goes to the locker room. It's not a coincidence the Lakers are down 11-0. Never comes back to the game. They tell us at halftime, in fact, he's not even on the bench. They say it's because of knee soreness. Is it truly because of knee soreness? Do you think there might be something else involved?
I really want to say I wouldn't be surprised if he was pouting about getting taken out of the game, man. Because to me, it's hard to really believe when he says he's hurt because all the comments he'd have been making the last couple of weeks, the Clint Capella, the them trying to make me only a log threat, I can do more than that, and all these comments, it's just adding up, and it makes it harder and harder to really believe him. So maybe he's hurt, but there's a part of me that like it's a part of me that kind of believes he just think he's upset. He don't like his role. He's unhappy, and I think he's just conflicted with himself right now. I think he's having a hard time accepting that you are just not that guy, man. And Laker Nation is really seeing what Phoenix and Portland was talking about. I think I literally saw somebody on Twitter from Portland message somebody on Lakers saying, "Told you, this is what this guy is all about. This is what Monte Williams all them was talking about. This is what they were talking about all them years." And it's disappointing to see that this is how he's going. And I really would have thought that he would have turned things around, knowing you're inching closer and closer to falling out the league. And I guess he just don't care. I don't know what to tell him.
For the record, I'm neither a LeBron hater nor LeBron stan. I'm a LeBron. I hate the noise surrounding LeBron. I'm a hater of the fact that he's getting $52.6 million a year. I do like the fact that at age 41, he is giving you 20 points a game. How many 41-year-olds ever in the NBA have given you what he is giving you right now? But I hate the fact that we're paying $52.6 million for it. Absolutely hate it. If we were paying 10 million for it, you guys wouldn't all be complaining. But I agree with you. You should be complaining because he's being paid $52.6 million a year. And today, again, despite again another efficient shooting day in a row, it was only 16 points but 8 assists. I He did make some good choices later in the game, legend, by interior passing to Jackson Hayes. It's those decision making that, again, because he doesn't like to take the shots down low. Maybe it was that elbow. I don't know. Again, why he didn't take those layups and pass them up for threes to Marcus Smart. I don't know for sure, but I'm not a LeBron apologist. I'm not a LeBron lover. I'm not a LeBron stan. I'm not, whatever you want to say. I hate the noise. I've said it time and time again. I hate the noise surrounding LeBron. His career and legacy would be so much better in my eyes without it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that he is producing more than any 41-year-old ever has in the NBA totally gets discounted because the fact he is costing the Lakers $52.6 million this season.
Because LeBron is known for his whole career about making the right pass, and I'm not sure in that situation it was about the elbow or maybe they're making the right pass, but I can definitely tell you the internet. Some people on the internet are gonna probably get you with the Kobe and MJ would have took that shot, but that's how some people are. But yeah, I'm gonna assume it has something to do with that elbow. Maybe he didn't take it because that was a little weird that he
He had
didn't just.
hard on that elbow. He had really hard on that elbow.
And I'm thinking maybe they had a reason why he didn't lay it up because that was very odd. He did it twice. That's why I'm like, it got to be more to that because he could have easily really dumped it or laid that up easily. Like that was an open, that was like a wide open 2 points. So the fact that he passed it up to a person who's not really a good 3-point shooter to me says a lot. that it has to be something to do with that elbow injury that he had that must have been still bothering him to make him do that. But who knows? We might find something out about that tomorrow, Wise.
Well, Silver again. Yes, can you? Silver says, "Can you really hate the fact that we signed him to that contract 2 years ago? And first year he was all NBA, Lakers gave him that contract. He barely made the all NBA third team, if I'm not mistaken. And his if I just looked the stats up, 24 points, 24, 8 and 7, 37% from three. I don't know if you could really call that an all NBA, or was he on all NBA 13 because he was LeBron James at 40 years old? Again, a very productive year for a 40-year-old. But if he was 30-year-old LeBron James, would you feel like you're getting your $52.6 million value from what he did last season? That's the question I would have back at you, Silver. Again, not in any mean spirited way, but I would say, did he have at any point in the past 2 years $52.6 million worth of output, Legend? That's what I'm getting at right there. Did you get your money's worth on either year of this contract? I mean, 40 and 41, no one has played better than this
Right.
statistically. But $52.6 million wise, you're
Yeah.
expecting something, I think, a little bit more.
I mean, for him being his age, this has been impressive. But that's a lot of money for what he's been doing, and he ain't putting up the production to be worth $52 million. That's a lot. At this point, maybe 15, 20 million at most, but to me that's about it. It's just hard to pay him 50 million. I can't pay that at this point in
Well, he's
age.
been in the league so long. That's where his salary falls, is in that 50 million range when you're looking for a contract like that. So it's just, it's what the market demanded, and he does generate that money and then some, as far as auxiliary stuff, as far as merchandise sales, ticket sales, both on the road and at home. Nobody could question that. He is more than his weight on the $52.6 million from a business perspective. It's just on the court. Have you gotten $105.2 million for the past 2 years in production?
Um, I will say maybe 2 years ago, you got really good production out of him. I think last year was kind of so. He did pretty good until he got hurt, was, and I think this year's when you're really starting to see a lot of decline. You
There were a
saw
lot of
some
players,
decline
I
last
think,
year.
that there were a lot of players last year that didn't qualify due to the injury level. I think that's why he got in there with as an all NBA third teamer, if I'm not mistaken. So
That is true. A lot of people was hurt last year coming toward the end of the season, and I think this year you saw a lot of decline. I think this is the most you don't. To me, I think you don't seen it. You know, missed a lot of layups and dunks, a lot of free throw percent, a lot of bad shooting game. I think the age is really starting to show more and more this season, and it's just letting you know that the end is definitely coming. And I'm kind of interested to see what he do going into this off season, whether or not this this be his last season or next should be the last season. But you can tell the age is starting to show more and more now. You're seeing it.
well, the thing is, Nick, you want me to talk about the great Jokic before we head on out, and the video game numbers. He almost had the unenviable quadruple double tonight, quadruple double.
Mm.
Uh, the not the kind that you want. 28 points, 12 rebounds, 13 assists, but 9 turnovers. The 9 turnovers is what I'll focus on here first before we get to the good stuff. The 9 turnovers. When he is committing 9 turnovers, Legend, you have to win the game when he is committing 9 turnovers. That's 3, 4 turnovers is a normal Nikola Jokic game, but 9 turnovers, Legend, you let those opportunity by when he's doing that badly, as far as that sloppy of passing. You cannot pass up those opportunities when you have them.
Yeah, you cannot pass him up. Like Joker had 9 turnovers, and that whole team was kind of having a sloppy night with the ball. You got to take advantage of it. That at least kind of makes up for your defense. You have to sit here and take advantage of the Nuggets turnover because that is fast break points for you. And knowing that your defense has been struggling all night, that's your opportunity to make up for the lack of defense not being there that you need. And just unfortunately, they missed them opportunities. And like I said, end of the game, Denver was really just trying to give you the game. They was trying to give it to you. They
About
kept
2 minutes
kept
left.
giving it
Yeah,
to
they
you.
were trying to. Yes. 2 minutes
But
left. They were trying to give the game to the Lakers, and 1 minute left. The Lakers were trying to give the game to them.
just gave it right back to them. Like, here you go. Look, we don't want it no more. Here you go.
But I will say this when it comes to Jokic. Joe and I have been in universal praise of Jokic. He is the best player of this decade. I don't think you can argue that. Do you remember? I don't know. Heading into the season, a lot of people were already discounting Jokic because he didn't look so good in the EuroLeague. Oh, he's not doing so good in the EuroLeague. Oh, it's all over for Jokic. How do you guys say he's the best of this decade? La, ha, la, la, ha. Yeah. Oh, lo and behold, he goes ahead and starts getting his video game numbers. He gets hurt, legend. He's came back and he just wasn't quite the same per se at that level because I think he had taken over MVP before he got hurt, just over SGA at that point. Kind of obviously now it's reverted way back since then, but he wasn't quite the same. I mean, coming off a knee injury, I can't say I blame him. He's starting to turn it up now, getting those video game like numbers again. Uh, it's going to be hard to stop. If he cuts down the turnovers, he gets Aaron Gordon back, and they get this team, they're going to be a very difficult matchup for anyone in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely be difficult when Aaron Gordon get back, and plus they're gonna actually improve their defense too once they get him back as well. So the fact that they're winning these games without Aaron Gordon, and then I think somebody else is hurt too, and then the fact that you're winning these games is impressive. They're gonna get better, and that's the thing that to me is scary about Denver. They're winning these games, but they're gonna get better once they get healthy. So that's a good thing for them, but that's scary for everyone else. That's why I tried to tell someone earlier. Their Denver defense has not been great, but it's going to get better once you get Aaron Gordon and others back into the mix. It's going to improve, and then they'll play defense the way that we expect out of them. But you have to take advantage of this, and that's a lot. That's some things that some people in the West just didn't do. They're hurt. You have to take advantage of that. But that's the wild, wild west for you right there.
Before we head on out, I wanted to go ahead and mention Silver says, can you ask when Ox comes on next show, how would Ox look at Braun's legacy if Braun were to take a massive pay cut to win another? If he went ring chasing, is what you're saying, Silver.
Mm.
Uh, I don't know if it's his legacy be fine. I don't think people should worry about his legacy, or he himself should worry about his legacy. It's already set and done. But you always want to end your career over the winter because it's the last thing you'll taste. You either taste yourself, taste yourself. You'll either taste the losing, the prospect of losing and being humbled by it, or a bad season and being an afterthought, or going out a winner on top. That's the ultimate way to go out. And yeah, if he's ring chasing for the veterans minimum, I can't blame him. He's earned it at this point in time. I don't think it'll destroy his legacy or hurt his what hurts his legacy is all this other shenanigans that he's been doing throughout the years off the court. All the stuff that off the court that hurts his legacy more than him ring chasing for a year, legend.
Yeah, that hurt to me hurts a lot more too. It's not even about the ring chase to me. It's the stuff that happens off the court. It's the Rich Paul podcast saying ridiculous stuff, and it's the stuff when he did the little stunt in the summertime saying we all thought you finna retire, and it's just a wine commercial, and a bunch of other stuff that we gonna see over the years. It just get ridiculous. The other part is ridiculous. When you went to I don't know what was he even doing there. The Clippers organization gym with the Clippers sign. You play for the Lakers. Come on, man. You know people ain't gonna like that. You know what you was doing. But it's just that type of stuff that's what hurts to me, hurts his legacy a little bit. And I sometimes think, and I heard more and more people start saying this over the years too. Sometimes his fans, his little LeBron lawyers, they kind of hurt him too a little bit. Because the fans say ridiculous stuff, and it backfires on LeBron too. So, you know, it's the stuff off the court is what kind of ridiculous. Well, a lot of people just don't like. It ain't him. It's the off the court stuff. It's annoying. It's aggravating. It's tiring.
I guess Stefan is asking if we'll do our top players in the last decade in order. So from 2016 beyond, before we head on out. And he has his list. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Once again, please like and subscribe because it helps out the channel a long way if you do it for us right here at the Lakers. Lakers lose tonight, 120 to 113, 37-25, sixth place in the Western Conference. They play tomorrow night at home against the Indiana Pacers. Stefan has Steph, KD, Jokic, Giannis, LeBron, and SGA. I would have it a little differently. I'm gonna let you think about it here for a second, Legend. I'll put it a little bit in mixed order here. I'm gonna go ahead and have Jokic number one. I'm gonna have LeBron number two. I'm gonna have Steph number three. I'm gonna have KD number four. I'm gonna have Giannis number five. And then SGA at number six. SGA, just because of the fact that he is new to the scene or relatively newer to this high level of basketball, as far as it goes. So I think he has to get less opportunity as far as that high level. In throughout these 10 years, I guess maybe Giannis to maybe 8 or 9 of those years, even you could even say all 10. Um, he's been at that level with these other guys. But I'm gonna have to say, for me, Jokic number one, LeBron number two, uh, Steph number three, KD four, Giannis five, and SGA six.
I think for me, I'm definitely going with Jokic at number one. Next one to me is pretty difficult to do. But I probably about the same as Gerald. I'm about the same as you. I'm about to go with LeBron in second. Then my boy Steph at three. Then I'm gonna say KD four. I'll go with Giannis. Probably about the same list as yours, honestly. I was about to flip SGA and Giannis, but
I just don't think SGA has enough seasons. If you talk
right.
about the last 10 seasons, I think there's because SGA for a good part of that was a rookie coming up in the league, improving year by year till suddenly he's a star. So, yeah, I have to give the body of work to those first five guys first before you put SGA. And it's no disrespect to SGA, it's just he hasn't been there longer. So, if you're going off of a all decade by the time 2030 is up, you're going to have SGA higher up on that list.
Yeah, I think it'd be much harder as we get closer to the 2030s era and all that. Like you said, he's still brand new to the scene, just now reached his first finals and possibly on the verge of getting back to the finals again. It's a little soon for him. But Giannis, he been in the lead for a while. Don't already won his first championship, so he can definitely be in the mix. LeBron, Steph, and Jokic, same thing, been in the mix. SGA is coming. He is coming, and I think Victor Wembanyama will eventually get his name in that mix as well.
Yes, good. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Our Carino says, "Hope your daughter is better." Legend. Thank you for remembering that, Carino. It does help a lot.
Oh,
Everything's
you mean my
okay though.
girlfriend, not daughter, though.
Oh, girl, because you said you're girl, so we weren't sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, all right, just because we always with John, it's always his girl that has been feeling under the weather. So yes, as you take kids to school and they just immediately catch everything else that
Oh,
well,
yeah.
as a teacher, yes,
I know all about that part.
they play ping pong with each other. Yes, as someone who had has three kids growing up, yes, they play ping pong at school with the cold and the flu
Literally
every
had to tell
single
the
year.
kid today, nope, turn around, you got the flu. Go out.
Ah, Robert is here. Great to have you back, Robert. By the way, guys, I'll find out. I will post for the Lakerholics if they're going to do a show on Saturday. They haven't started talking to each other yet. They usually will figure out something, hopefully Thursday or Friday. So that's the case. I haven't heard anything yet. If that's the case, I will schedule it and you'll see it on the channel for Saturday at 11 if they will be here. But we will wait and see on that. But Robert Wheeler said, did your confidence go up and down or stay the same considering Lakers had a chance to win late, considering the Lakers are ranked bottom 10, the defensive, and has best offense in the league? Well, Robert, it's a thing where my confidence didn't go up and down. I mean, they are competitive always in Denver. They always play well and competitive in Denver. They don't win as much as they should in Denver, but they always seem to play very competitive in the Mile High City. But when you're trying to come back time and time again it just then they were making mistakes, or once they would get like down 2 or 3 or 4 points every single time, Legend, they would make 1 or 2 mistakes that would put them down 10 to 12 points, in some cases 15. It just, what you could just see, it was not going to be their night. So no, I wasn't surprised. I'm sad for guys like El Rosto, who even at 11-0 said that the Lakers were still going to win. He still believed right there on Discord that they were going to win. And for him, I feel badly the most. I mean, I feel bad for all Lakers fans the most, but when you go and put yourself out there on the line right away and say the Lakers are going to win, and they almost got it done. But again, it's so hard in the NBA, not just physically, Legend, to come back from those type of deficits all game long. It's the psychological part of it as well.
Yeah, it's just hard to do it, and when you dig yourself in the hole, it takes a lot of energy just to get back in the game. A lot of mental energy as well, not just physical but mentally as well. And when you get back in the game, you're down like 3 or 2, and then the other team goes right back on the run and the lead boosts right back up to like double digits. That's deflating. Both mentally and physically, that's deflating. And when it happens, not one, not twice, but 3 or 4 times, you get to the point you be like, all right, they got this game. He just end up giving up because like it keep happening over and over. And it is mentally draining. And so it's definitely not something that's easy to accomplish. So, and I would say, from my opinion, I would probably say my confidence is still the same. I'm not surprised. I'm not shocked at anything. It's almost like it's what they've been doing most of the season. So I'm not surprised. So I'm not really too surprised at anything that happened so far from this game. Still about the same, but it's still 20 something game left. It ain't over yet. But these next few games, it's critical. It is critical, especially that knowing that they are confident foes, and it affects how the playoff going to be in the season. It's critical.
Before we head on out, I did want to mention, Robert, again, I know you had said before previously in a question of, I think a few weeks back, in regards to the Lakers really high at that time. It's still good. It's still really good uh, numbers in the clutch. And I told you at that time it's misleading. And it's oftentimes where the Lakers play to the level of their competition. Sometimes they play down, sometimes they play up. Tonight they played relatively and up to their competition. They came close to victory many times. They came close to getting the lead many times. They just couldn't quite get the hump. But I think what you're seeing is the Lakers down the stretch. They aren't money, and they aren't clutch every single time out. I think that record was kind of misleading, especially early on when they had that gaudy record in the clutch, because of the fact that they let a lot of large leads go to the point where it became a clutch game when it didn't need to. So I'm just going to say at this point in time, they have to figure out something with a minute left in the game where they have to be consistent and go to it. Whether or not LeBron's elbow was hurting to the point where he couldn't take the basketball to the basket, even though he was right near the basket, you'd have to ask him. And I don't see any quotes from him after the game saying otherwise. But the decision making and not having a better shooter out there to go alongside. You could keep Smart out there, but why was Laravia out there? And Laravia had been struggling all game long from the field. So why wasn't Kennard or Rui? Why was Rui taken out at 2 minutes left in the game? Rui is a 40% plus shooter. He had actually made some shots from three. Kennard, same thing. I understand Smart was 3 of 6 tonight, but that's probably the best you were going to get from a 33% overall shooter. I just think that you should have had one more shooter out there that could have made a difference, Legend.
Yeah, and it could have made a big difference. If you had maybe Luke and Rui out there together, can make a big difference. Two dudes who are like high percent 3-point shooters, who are 8 out of 10 gonna knock it down. But you go out there and you put Jake LaRavia back in, who has been struggling. It's just some type of things that make you kind of question, can JJ really be the guy long term or not? It makes you question that type of stuff. And right now, it don't look like it. It's like he's gonna be here temporarily and end up being somebody else. But it just shows the inexperience and that he's still learning. still learning, still making mental mistakes. But you shouldn't have a guy who is not a great 3 point shooter taking game winning shot not once but twice. You can't have that. That need to be like Luke Kennard or Rui taking that shot, who both got very high chances of probably making it out of 2 tries.
James Hex, who says you guys don't focus on the failures of the coaching with JJ enough. Every game he falls short. You don't stay on the show to watch it. When I was on JJ's case earlier in the show for more than 10 minutes. So don't tell me that. Okay. When you come on the show, you watch us having a conversation about another part of the game or talking about MVP or talking about other things in the league, and you say we don't focus on JJ enough. You look bad. You look stupid. You look so out of place doing that. You don't watch the whole show. Just like you probably don't watch the whole game. You come off like a goof and an idiot every single time. You know that puking emoji? Put it on yourself, because you should puke on yourself, because the dumb ass comments you keep making every single time you come on this show. Watch the whole show. When we criticize JJ and call him out for not putting out shooters out there, like I did extensively at the beginning of this show. So please, for the love of God, man, shut up or put a decent comment out there more than likely, more than often, because you don't put them often enough. You put up there is garbage, and you should actually be puking on your own self. And I'll let it go right there. I just it's dumb, Stefan. It's dumb because he comes on this show, he comes on the chat, and all he does is this obligatory puke emoji each and every time out, criticizing us, criticizing Joe, and it's just like he just comes on because he's flipped over from whatever fan base that he's been on previously 5 minutes ago, or whatever show he's been watching 5 minutes show, and he comes on here, and that he takes the whole value from there. He takes the whole show from what 5 minutes. It's obvious in his statements. He just does not have a clue, and I'm not going to give him the money to buy one either, because it's clear he can't buy a clue as well. JSJ said, "Hey Gerald, are you ready to see Cody winning the belt tomorrow?" Well, I don't know. I mean, is Cody winning the belt tomorrow against Drew McIntyre? We'll wait and see. I'm not convinced he is. I'm convinced they're going to do something else, and that they have McIntyre going to WrestleMania with the belt. So we'll see. But yeah, Black, I mean, when you come on with your takes against John Black, I mean, I think, he doesn't like him all the time, but you come up with some solid stuff. But James, he just brings no value to the conversation. I got to call it out. You got to call it out. You just got to have smart conversations. But yeah, if you don't, then just shut up and listen. It's just that simple. Yes. Oh, you like that? You like that? Buy the clue? Yeah. I've been saving that one for a while. But before we head on out, see if I can go ahead and pop this up. This was the conversation that they had with Ed Malloy on the Pool Report legend. What did Luka Doncic do to warrant a technical foul? It appeared the referee waited until after transition possession to call it. Why was there a delay? Ed Malloy said Doncic was issued a technical foul for using profanity directed towards a referee. We are trained not to stop an offensive transition when calling a technical foul on the defense. The next question is, near the end of the second quarter, the Nuggets appear to turn the ball over on an inbounds pass. After the Lakers gained possession, the play was stopped and the Nuggets were allowed to inbound the ball again. Why was that decision made? The decision was made because Jokic never had control of the ball out of bounds. Therefore, it was not a legal throw-in. I mean, that
That's weird.
either which, yeah, I mean, that's one call, didn't decide the game, but Luka with his his rep legend. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a body of work rep. It's just like, the things we talked about with Draymond Green. Draymond Green has done so much to beat down the refs that I think he gets more slack than most NBA players, because of the fact they're just
Mhm.
so tired of his act, and they just tune him out unless he really does something egregious. When it comes to Luka, he is whined to the refs so much they're just tired of his act. They're just tired of it, and you reap what you sow. But again, as much as I love having Luka on this team, I said right from the get go, Legend, he comes with some certain things you
Yeah.
have to deal with if you're a Lakers fan base that just doesn't change. It's just who he is as a human being, and it's so hard for him to change. And one of those is arguing with the ref, Legend.
Yeah, that's just one of the things you sign up for when getting somebody like Luca. He did it in Dallas, and I didn't expect to change when he got to the Lakers. So it just pretty much what you sign up for. You're gonna get a guy who is gonna complain a lot to the referee, get plenty of texts, might play defense 1 minute and might not play defense the next. It's just pretty much what you sign up for. That's why Dallas had to make that special roster to be set up so particularly to fit around the type of player he is. So I know he can be aggravating. He can be probably annoying to a lot of people with the whining, but it's kind of part of the package when it comes to him wise. And I don't know there's a lot of Laker fans kind of gotten tired of it, but it's kind of what comes with it.
Last question from JY. When will the Lakers beat a team above in the
Oh, I don't
standings?
know. I don't know,
Uh,
man.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say the New York game. I'm
That
going to
might
say the New
be it.
York game because New York, you don't know what you're getting from one day to the next, even though they do have a better record than the Lakers. Uh, but Minnesota's sizzling right now. Minnesota's moved up to third place in the Western Conference after being mired between fifth and eighth most of the season. So got to watch out for them. I do not think they're winning that. They're winning that game, but the one against New York, I kind of like, and we'll see. Indiana would normally be like a day off, but again, they're flying from Denver, and Indiana's been here for days because they had the Clippers game. Who knows what's going to
Who
happen?
knows?
So who
You know,
knows?
bad
Yeah,
teams can beat other teams, so it
yeah.
happens.
Will Luca have an impact on the city equal to Shohei or Tani? Listen, I don't know.
Ooh,
Otani.
I don't know about it. It's a little too soon.
Yeah, I would say Otani. I mean, because my wife and son went to Japan last year, and again, she said it best. She said it best, Legend. When she got lost, or she needed to get directions, or she needed to find her way back to the hotel, Legend, she used Shohei Otani billboard signs to get her back to the hotel. That's how prevalent he
Mm.
is in their society. That's how over huge he is. And in LA, that has transferred over to the LA city. And LA right now with back-to-back world championships, I think that's what it would take for Luca to supersede or get close to what Otani is doing right now, Legend.
Yeah, he's gonna have to win a championship. And I feel
I
like he's
think
gonna
too.
add an MVP on there too.
Yeah. I think
You
at
gotta
least
add
one
some
more.
MVPs on the two titles. MVP, you gotta have it. Right now, it's a long ways off from there, but
Yeah. So, my friend, Project Helix for Xbox is the next Xbox right now. That's what it's called, Project Helix for now. They'll probably call it something else, of course. Sometimes those project names are actually better than the actual names they come up with.
yeah,
Well,
you're right about that.
Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox. But before we head on out, what's going on at I Got Next Sports Media?
Right now, got a page set up to where I'm gonna probably talk about the return of Jason Tatum, talk about Detroit Pistons. We're gonna talk about the Spurs are coming into age, so we're gonna definitely talk about that. And then on my gaming channel, I might talk about the Xbox Helix. Now that we know about it, and now that we know the real thing, we know PC and consoles finna come together, so we know it's official now.
Well, Arcarino, it's 2 a.m. For Legend right now. I'm just grateful that he's even here. So I'm so thankful. And Legend, I do got to get us together for an NBA observations in the as soon as you're able to, we'll go ahead and do it. But once again, it is Legend. Although he might be here tomorrow night. If you're here tomorrow night after the Indiana game, we'll go ahead and talk more NBA. It is Legend from I Got Next Sports Media. Please like and subscribe. Thanks so much again for joining us, everyone. It is Gerald Glassford. Please like and subscribe before we head on out. It is truly immensely greatly appreciated if you do. Also, as well, I've got a Lakers Latest, part of the Fan Arc Network, the Lakers Latest channel. I put it in the notes, so don't tell me you can't see it. I've been putting in the notes down for the past 20 days. you can't. I bring up a new episode all there almost every day. It pops up right around 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific time. It's 15 to 20 minutes long. I try to go ahead and bring up some things that you've seen here, and then some things that you may have not seen here. So again, if you are interested and you want your morning fix of the Lakers, it's right there for you at Lakers Latest as well. But again, R. Carino at JSJ, great to have you here. Luca needs an RKO the next time he gets attacked. Well, you know what? The league will give him an RKO the next time he gets attacked because that'll be a suspension. Because I don't think now, since he said an expletive to the ref, that he is going to get it rescinded. So there you go, indeed. But Stefan, Tufso, everybody that's out there, greatly appreciated. I'm going to leave you with this. From my man Drip Show, I'm going to be Brad Pitt here, legend. What's in the box? What's in the box? You will find out soon what's in the box right here, because my man Drip Show, and courtesy of El Rosto, has really done something special here. So yes, what's in the box? I think you'll find out tomorrow night. I'll go ahead and debut it because it's something special right here. I haven't even seen it myself. I've just cut the size where the tape is. I have not even opened it, and I will not open it until tomorrow night. So if you want to see what's in the box, what's in the box, what's in the box, I hope it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head. That would be bad. Well, spoilers. But yes, if I will show what's in this box, because I think we're going to be doing a promotion for it. So if you are interested to find out what's in this box, come back with us after the game, Indiana and the Lakers, tomorrow night, right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast. Joe, yes, yeah, doing the Joe thing there. I know that sounded weird, but hope everybody has a great evening and a fantastic Friday. See you then.